Information on a barricade situation that we first told you about on Get Up DC this morning. DC police rushing to the scene in Northwest just a week after 3 DC police officers were shot during a 13-hour barricade in Southeast.
Well, this time no shots were fired and the barricade ended peacefully in less than 4 hours. Delia Gonsalves is live at Florida and 8th Streets where police are still investigating. And Delia, I hear this all started with an attempted robbery. How are the victims in this case?
Yeah, tonight the victims are going to be okay, shaken up, obviously. Police tell us that the attempted robbery, happened right across the street from Howard University Hospital through this alley right there on Georgia Avenue. One of the victims, in fact, waved down a police officer, told them about what happened, and that's when the suspects took off. One suspect actually running through this alley and then hiding inside this abandoned building. You take a look at the building where all that graffiti is right there. I'm not going to take you inside, but that's an abandoned building owned by Howard University. Earlier today, after this incident, I saw crews boarding up this building. I just checked and there is fresh plywood on that door, so it is now secure. But police say at the time this building was unsecure and they saw evidence that people have been squatting before. The U Street corridor came to a standstill during the morning commute after police say one suspect in a possible armed robbery barricaded himself inside this vacant building owned by Howard University. It happened in the 2000 block of Georgia Avenue, right across the street from Howard University Hospital.
They just shut things down. Patients couldn't leave or go, and they sent out alerts on email and texts and stuff. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, at least they, letting us be aware of what's going on, but it's kind of scary.
We thought it was at the Jerry's.
Jeffrey Bowie also works at Howard and captured police in full tactical gear and armed with long rifles outside the nearby carryout.
All this going on, as long as we're safe, that's all.
Do you feel safe?
I feel safe. Yeah, I feel pretty protected, feel pretty good.
While police take one person into custody, emergency response teams are called in to negotiate with the second person holed up in the vacant building. Police telling WUSA 9 they discovered evidence inside that people had been squatting in the unsecured vacant building. More than 3 hours later, the barricade comes to an end. Both men are taken into custody. A woman police are now describing as one of the robbery victims heads to the station to talk to detectives.
A lot of people out here have mental issues that needs to be addressed and they need help. So when they're not getting that addressed, then craziness like this happens all around us and everybody just fear for their life.
Now, police say there are charges pending in this case as they continue to investigate. Now, as far as this abandoned building with all the graffiti around it that belonged to Howard University, this comes just about a month after the old Howard Divinity School was broken into and vandalized. They're investigating that incident. I reached out to Howard just a short time ago about what they're doing to secure all of these old buildings that are unused and vacant around the property. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I did just read an email from the comms director who said they should get back to me within the half hour. We're live here on the U Street corridor. Delia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
And of course, it's not just Howard that should be prompted to take action to secure these buildings, but other building owners across the city to prevent any sort of repeat incidents like this from happening. Delia, thank you.